outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, my sister chooses what I read for 24 hours. So the books that she chose for me was The Bad Boy and the Tomboy, These Hollow Vows, Soulmates, The Switch, and then The Lost Bookshop. So all of these books I've been wanting to read for a while and I'm very excited to get to them. And the first one I'm going to go and start with is Soulmates, and we will see how this goes. I don't know what I'm going to think of this one because it is a YA and it doesn't really tell you much. It just says soulmates do exist but not as you think. Every so often two people are born who are the perfect match for another soulmate. What if meeting your soulmate is earth-shattering, literally. We will see what I think of this. Okay, so I've literally only read one chapter of this book and I think I'm going to DNF. Whether it's like a permanent DNF or temporary, I'm not sure, but the writing style I just cannot get across. It is so cringy and it just, I'm reading it like this and so it's not a good start to the video, but I don't think this is for me. I might try again in the future, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I had a feeling I wouldn't like it. It is YA and like the writing style is childish. And some of the things that this character says is just gross. And I already don't like the main character. So it's not a good start to the book. It's not a good start to the video. But I think the next book I am going to read is The Lost Bookshop, because I've heard amazing things about this one. So that is what I'm going to start reading now. Okay, so far I'm not enjoying it. This is not a good start to the video. I am not very far in and I'm already really disappointed. So this book actually sounds so good and so interesting. And it just sounds so magical, and even like the cover looks so good, but the actual story inside I'm not enjoying at all. It is definitely very disappointing. I honestly thought I was really going to enjoy this, and this is a book that I picked up because I saw it and I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I saw it, I was like, oh, this looks really interesting, I picked it up. It is a disappointing read, so I am going to maybe go and try and finish it and we'll see how it goes, but it's not looking good so far. Okay, so I finished the book. It didn't take long, but I did end up switching to the audiobook because I was so close to DNFing it, but I was like halfway through and I was like, I might as well just finish it at this point. This was very disappointing for me. I really had high hopes for this. I honestly thought I was going to enjoy it, but I just didn't end up enjoying it. So as I was reading it, I wrote some notes. I'm just going to read out the notes. So I just kept waiting for something to happen. 3 POVs, too similar and difficult to tell apart at times, despite differing time periods. So it would have the different time periods, but it was so difficult to know whose chapter it was in the book and like what was actually happening, whose story was whose. I was getting confused most of the time, which I feel like took me out of the story, which then made me just not enjoy it. It's mostly a love story with sub-elements for a missing manuscript and hidden bookstore, which only reveals itself in the final 20 chapters. So I felt like the ending could have been a lot better. I felt like the ending was rushed, is what I'm trying to say here. Like, I felt like it could have been a bit longer and more could have happened. I felt like the author just wanted to get it over with. I did enjoy some of the magic that was thrown in there every now and then. It did add a bit of like interest into the story. And I just didn't connect with the characters. I don't even remember much about this story, and I've just read it. And the actual story, I just didn't enjoy it. This book just personally wasn't for me, and I really wish it was because I had such high hopes for this book, and I was disappointed by it. But I am now going to move on to, I think, this one, or maybe The Bad Boy and Tomboy. I'm not sure, but I'm reading this quite like faster than what I thought, because first book I DNF'd, and then that the Lost Bookshop took me about 3 hours, I think it was. Okay, I got interrupted. I can't remember what I was saying. But what was it? Oh, I might start one of these. We'll see how I feel. It might be this one though. Okay, so it's the next day and I have just finished These Hollow Vows. I don't think I did any updates throughout, but I'm going to be completely honest. I rated this a 1 star, but I don't think I've done this book justice at all, because I am currently in a reading slump, and I feel like I've picked this book up at the wrong time. I feel like I would have liked it otherwise. The love triangle, obviously there's a love triangle in this, I just didn't really like, which, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all because it's just not something I like in books at all. It's like one of my least favourite tropes. So I don't know. I just don't think I did this book justice because I read it in a reading slump, and obviously reading a fantasy while you are in a reading slump is just a bad idea in general. So I think I would have enjoyed this a little bit more if I did. I might try and give it a go another time, like another day. We'll see. This reading vlog is not going how I wanted it to. I'm going to be completely honest. But now I'm going to start The Switch by Beth or Larry, I think, and I will be back with you all. Okay, I'm going to be honest. It's been a while, but I finally read The Switch. I rated this 2 stars just because I just don't think it was my kind of book. Like, obviously it's about like an oldish person, like her life, and then I think a younger one, if I remember correctly. I read this a couple of days ago. I can't really remember much about it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever read. It was okay, hence the 2 stars. I probably wouldn't recommend this. Like, you probably wouldn't hear me talking about this book again. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I don't know. I would definitely say it's not very memorable. This video definitely did not go how I wanted it to. It's definitely quite terrible. And all the books that I read, I just didn't enjoy. But I was in a reading slump when I started this. I am kind of still in a reading slump. My reading just hasn't been going the best at all recently for the past couple of months. And so I feel like that might be it. I don't know. But that is the end of this video. I'm sorry it's so terrible. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.